Hi class, this is best practice video for the leadership module, which was the last discussion module. Yay! We finally reached the end. The final exam is open, and I know some of you've already taken it. It'll be open until 11:59 on Friday. There were lots of good posts on the leadership module, even more than the week before. So I was really pleased with that. I'm going to give a shout out to Group 6. Group 6 just led the way with a lot of quality posts in Group 6. Group 3 was right behind them. For a best practice, let me switch over here. This is Brooke from Group 3. Nice job, Brooke. You can see she's got a nice introduction, then she goes into the behavioral interview. She's clearly formatted the challenge using diet. So she worked her way through that. She got into an important term or concept, transformational leadership, which right now is the most popular leadership style in academia. She's got her exam question, got into the leadership instrument, and then made her suggestions for the course. So nice job, Brooke. The other best practice here, this would be Andrew from Group 2. Nice job, Andrew. As you can see, it's formatted really well. He's got his introduction, he's got his behavioral interview question. Notice how he's repeated everything in bold. The format's really nice here. And he gets down into the mission. Same thing, he's got his mission clearly marked out using diet in solving the challenges. Substantive posts here. He's got his important term or concept referent power. And then he goes on to talk about legitimate power. Servant leadership, that's leadership that I like as well. By the way, there's they have a website, it's greenleaf.org, and they put out quite a bit of information related to servant leadership. All right, he's got his exam questions. Matter of fact, he's got more than one, so that was nice. Gets into the leadership instrument. Nice substantive response on that. He's got his recommendations for the course, his stop, continues, and stops and recommendations. Then he ends with a conclusion. So nice job, Andrew. One term that I want to just talk briefly about that seemed to be confusing to a lot of people on this leadership instrument. They use the word mature to describe followers, and that's a little bit misleading because they don't use the dictionary definition of mature. You can have a follower who's psychologically mature but immature on this test. And what mature refers to is the follower's competence, their level of competence on a specific task, and their willingness to perform the task. So if they're competent, they know what they're doing, they're willing to do it, then they're described as mature. And because of that, they don't need much direction or support from the leader. Now, they still need some direction, some support, but they don't need a lot. So it matches up with the style for the delegate style. Immature means that to some degree that they lack the competence to do the task, which might be because they've never performed the task before, they're new to that particular task, or they are unwilling to perform it for some reason they have an attitude about performing the task. So in that case, the leader has to provide more direction. In other words, here's how to do the task, either by showing them or coordinating another worker to show them. And then they also have to provide support or encouragement to get them to do the task. So um, the leader has to be more involved, and they need to more closely monitor the performance of the employee. So it's a pretty straightforward model. It deals with transactional management, and which is really important at the operational level. I think all leaders, regardless of the level, to some degree, use transactional management. So this model is useful and helpful. I might also add that Ken Blanchard in the last year or so has combined situational leadership with servant leadership. So he's covering both transformational and transactional management in the model. So he also has a book out on that. So that might be something you want if you're interested more in how would this model work in synthesis with something like servant leadership, then you might want to check his new book out. So nice job on this last assignment. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out, and wish you best of luck on the final exam. Thanks.